beautiful day. We bring you kingdom greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. My name is Pastor Jessica Edmund. I'm the vision bearer of Arising Authors Initiative, a platform that has helped many to turn their stories into a book. Welcome to today's episode of Endless Possibility Talk Show, a show where everything and anything is possible. Like I always said, including your own things. This show is powered by Women at the Well, a community of wise women and by default men who has helped so many to see themselves in someone else's story. As we share our experiences, wisdom, and our past scars that addresses men, women fears, and the past scars as well, give them opportunity to learn without limit by empowering them or encouraging them to maximize their full potentials, and even giving them the privilege to learn without limit, even at the comfort of their own home. I am excited to be late into your homes today, and before we start, I would like to give honor to my fellow colleague at Women at the Well, starting with Sister Kezia. Could you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Hello viewers, good afternoon and good evening or good morning from wherever you are. I'm so privileged, I'm so honored to be here today. I'm a member of Women at the Well, and I'm also a staff nurse.
God bless you. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
Such a lovely sister.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Do I still need introduction?
Yes.
But anyway, let's do the needful.
Yes.
One more time, we welcome you. Thank you for joining us. I remain Amb.Tee. The man beside the well, where the women are. Thank you. Welcome. Relax and enjoy today's episode. Thank you.
Yes. I would say that this is, we are coming to the end of our reflection and a 1-year anniversary reflection, where we intend to talk about our fears, our failures before our successes, because the story, the secret of a great man is always in their stories. So we don't just come to show you what God has done. We also want to show you that sometimes we did not even believe that it was going to be possible. Sometimes we dreaded, sometimes we were afraid, but eventually we put our hand to the foot of Christ, and He lifted us up, and that's how this vision or the testimony come about. More importantly, we also use this opportunity to encourage men and women out there who has books in their womb that is not written, who has visions they have been dreaming about, who has dreams, who are great men and women potentially and empowered by God to do some things, but one way or the other, because they've ventured before and they failed, they are afraid of going back again. We want to use the opportunity to tell you that we were in the same situation, but we took another chance and opportunity, and that's what brought us here today. So that is the purpose of reflecting back into where we've come from onto this 1 year. And today, as you can see, we are with our sister Kezia, who started with us, as we have always brought 1 or 2 people every week to share their experiences so far. And we'll be going into details. However, I would like to hand over to our ambassador to actually recap from last week. Then we take it off from there. God bless you and stay blessed.
Yeah, thank you. One more time. Yes, last week we were here with the Bishop Veronica Ngosiomu.
Yes.
Right, and we looked
My
at...
mother in the Lord.
Yes. We looked at how the television...
show started.
Correct. So I think because Jessica and Bishop Veronica, they've come a long way.
Yeah.
I still heard her say that the bishop is her mother in the Lord.
Yes.
And she shared some of the dreams with the bishop, and the bishop prayed with her, and there were times when they were not sure. Bishop asked her to go home. She didn't want to go home.
Yes,
she was battling to get a name, a title for this forum. What are we going to caption this and all those things? But in all these things, God was still there, working with them, giving them their small messages to say, this is what you're going to do because this is what I want you to do. And then that was how the vision, though when we were coming back to Germany,
yes,
that was when this TV thing started. Then you dropped it like a hint, and then you went to the bishop. I think that's where we stopped last week.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, yes.
So you can carry on from there.
Yes. Today like you, I brought our lovely sister. It's just been a sister that I couldn't just explain how much her relationship has actually impacted me, but I will give her the opportunity to actually start by, and I will, I think. I will start by, I think we got to know each other from driving church bus.
Yeah.
I'll give you the opportunity to share your experience from there.
Yeah, Pastor Jessica and I, we've got to know each other, as
In
she
the
rightly
church, yeah.
said, in the church. We
Yes.
attend the same church.
Yeah, Winners Chapel.
And we attend the same church, Winners Chapel. And I always see we do the same kind of job.
Yes.
You know, we work in the hospital together.
Exactly.
You know, in different hospitals. And I don't know how to describe the energy she has. After walking, she's also driving the church bus, coming to take people from their houses. Also, she has a son with her. So I was like, I want to know if there is something behind the strength of this woman.
You coming to
you
me,
know,
yes,
because working in the hospital settings, we all know the burnout, the fatigue, the psychological trauma and everything. And still, with the fear of God, you still want to try to squeeze out that time to honor God by going to church. You know, this part you're striving. But see this woman of God, you know, she does not just, she closed from the 9th shift.
Consistently, yeah.
In fact, she closed from the 9th shift and asked me, are you ready? I'm on my way. I'll be asking Sister Jessica then. I'll say, you're on your way. Where are you? Are you at home? Or he said, no. I just changed from my place. I changed at the hospital. I changed at work and I'm coming. So get out home so and meet me at the place where she's going to collect me. So that kind of encouragement, that kind of gave me the zeal, to really know. I really want to know more about this woman, the drive. What is her inner joy in doing the services without not complaining, and she still feels so strong. Mind you, Sister Jessica was a single mother, you know, looking after her son, driving the bus, coming to pick people home,
going to work.
She takes people to the church,
Right.
take them back, and from there, she takes her side to the childminder and go back to work. Why me? I'm already saying I only have about few hours to sleep before going back to work. God, what kind of grace does she have? How does she manage that? So I was really willing to know more about our lovely sister, and that was what drew me closer to her. You know, to know her secrets, which she shared with us.
That's fine. Actually, when I got to know her, I just remember that anytime she kept trying to engage me, she said, where do you live, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I have nothing to. Of course, I was also happy with her. But I think where we got to know was when you came to share some things about you then, and we now said, midnight prayer. I said, okay, you know what, come, let me pray with you, because she was saying that she can't even see to pray how she normally pray. I said, maybe you need iron sharpened iron.
Exactly.
We started praying in my parlor every night.
So what kind of surprised me with what Sister Jessica has also said, right, you know, not just the energy she has in doing the work of God and going to work, but she has that spiritual drive to do more. She has that spiritual maturity, and I saw this in her, and I just wanted to be motivated spiritually. Share that some of my secrets, and I just, I'm not the kezia that I used to know. Something has changed since I started this work. The environment we live in and everything, is so dull. I really want to know. And that was when she invited me over to her house. And going to her place was not also funny. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Going to her place as well. I got to that place, trying to get to Sister Jessica. Those days, I couldn't get her. I said, God, what? Now that I want to try and I've finally tried to open up to some, because I am known to be very reserved. I keep things to myself. I kind of prayed and said, God, well, I've spoken to her. Let me see what will come out of this. Okay. And going to a place, her phone she wasn't picking the calls. Kind of put me down initially, not knowing that the enemy was trying to, play a trick.
Okay.
Trying to play a trick. And, but we thank God that we got to meet
I come to pick you. When I realized you were calling me, I think my phone was switched off because it wasn't charged. And I was also looking up, but I didn't know you were already done because you were hiding because it was raining. And you were calling and the phone was off. So I eventually saw that when I charged my phone, I saw that you've called me. Then I now said to put my son in the car. Then we come looking for you. I beg you to come. That we must do the midnight prayer. We mustn't cut it. You know?
Exactly.
And from that midnight prayer, we launch into push. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah. Continue.
So from that midnight prayers, a lot happened. You know, there were a lot of revelations even during that midnight prayers.
Yeah. That was one of the days God spoke to us concerning women at the well. I told her that there's this God is putting in my mind that about this charity of a thing, and I was now telling her if she can follow me, that we want to empower other women, because if I can do all these things, like she was saying that we discussed, and also writing books that other women too can do with that. My passion is, if I'm right,
so that was
is empowering women and all that stuff.
So seeing the kind of Sister Jessica is a typical example of Barnabas in the Bible. You know, I would describe her. She's more than the Barnabas, encourager, because we even there. Staying with Sister Jessica was like fun. You know, staying with her was like fun. There was no time to like discuss about this is what that person did at work. In fact, when you're with her, your work because she has no time. When you're with her, your work settings just leave it there. So we're just there to fellowship. We are just there to pray. We are just there to worship. And then revelations start coming up. That was when the women at the well, she spoke about it. I said, okay. When you start, I will come. I told them, go. I mean, you're thinking about the church, thinking about your child. Now you want to, go, let's see what God will do.
I remember like 2-3 days later, somebody in our church called me that one of our pastors, very dear friend, was feeling sick. Set up push. Praise until something happened. We want to pray. You were asking me what is it? I said I just want us to pray for somebody. Wanted. Is it not that one again? I said no, forget about that one. That this one now is now to and we were doing.
I remember, sister, the push was for 8 hours.
Yes, every day.
We were doing the push, midnight praise, and for 8 hours
for the person that was sick. No, because the sickness was serious.
Exactly.
You needed.
It was cancer, and she was given 2 months to go, or 3 months or thereabout.
Like
prognosis of 2 months.
Exactly. So it was, instead of us sympathizing, talking about it, I decided to channel the energy to praise. I said we are not here to pray because we can pray amidst, but we can't praise amidst. We just want to worship God based on the average, not on what we are going to do, but we just want to praise God for the victory already given to us on the Jesus. And it worked.
I mean,
we did it for about. I remember I went to my pastor. Sorry, ma'am. I remember I went to my pastor. I said, Pastor, we want to set up women to just praise for. Pastor said, we've done all these things, and majority of people started it. It ended in this. I said, no, give me opportunity to do it. He said, people has done it. People has set up something like this regarding this same situation. Don't want it again in the church. I said, no, Pastor, give me opportunity. Anyway, I will add you to the group. Don't do anything, just watch us. And the pastor said, okay, add me. It was glorious. Even when we finished, nobody. And within a month, the person we were actually praying for straight their time because of the cancer, and it was, started joining us to take it a slot. Because of time, long story short, at the end of this push, it is important to highlight this. Remember at the end, the person that we were praying for, for some reasons I wouldn't want to mention, boldly to give her testimony. He said, I can testify I'm strong, I am healed, I am taking slot 8 hours every day. It is unbelievable. And you guys are all skilled workers, everybody have children. I cannot, even the love you have shown me is inexplainable. She cried and she shared, didn't break it
at all.
It's continuous praise for 8 hours, and we did not break it.
And the glory of God fell mighty. You know,
anybody that took over will sing like you will never believe it.
You know,
then now come and they prayed for every woman that has participated. And I remember he prayed for me too. And he was praying and closing. And the people gathered online. 2 days, he did that set on Friday. Yeah. And on Sunday, my uncle place, we went for the meeting.
Right.
And on Sunday, I was given, when I told some of my friends, they said, oh, use the platform, the push platform to do the charity. Yeah. I went to create another forum. As I'm talking, I said no, because that was not the give birth to this. That's what I want to highlight.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Yeah, from what I have heard from 2 of you, I picked up 2 things. One, you see, we say things and we just don't know the impact, the power in the words we say. Like they say, what God cannot do does not exist. There is nothing that God cannot do. And speaking about the lady who was sick, who was diagnosed with cancer and who had a prognosis.
She's still women at the well.
This is what I'm saying. You remember whose report?
Shall we believe?
His report says, I'm healed, I'm free, I'm filled, I'm healed, I'm filled, I'm free. His report says victory. You understand? By default today, I don't know what happened. We're all nurses. Okay, I just have to bring this. We're all nurses. And I work with palliative patients, people who have been given prognosis of few weeks, few days, few months. And sometimes when you visit patients, you see that downside takes over. That strength is not there. And you know, you're not supposed to start preaching to them because of where we are. You don't know their faith. You don't know how they are going to report. Except somebody you know very well who will believe, who will listen to you and believe. At that point, you see the medical team will just give TLC, tender loving care, because they are dying. But you need to, if you key into that with somebody who will believe, who knows that faith is very important, and there's nothing that God cannot do. At that point, whatever you say,
thinking.
Exactly.
For people who don't
you key in, and once you key in, that prayer will.
Yes, positive confession.
Yes, sir. I love what you said. Sorry, sister. I love what you said. Key into the to key in is very important.
It's a relationship.
In relationship, what we need to pray is the grace to key into the right person.
Yeah.
You know, because I would say
destiny helpers.
Destiny helpers, they can come in various formats. I would say some people think that, oh, I must always go to the pastor to pray for me. Must go to the bishop, go to lay hands on me. You're wrong. The little things you've done will be counted for you for righteousness. Because Sister Jessica, you know, when there I was really sad, I was really down, and I was a very reserved person. But I'm breathing up on it now.
Oh, thank God.
Sister Kezia, what are you doing? You've got this talent. You can sing. I can see you worship. People do. Why don't you do so?
Release song.
Why don't you release song? They will say, Sister Kezia, you have to go on. You have to go on. You have to
go to the studio. Come on.
Go to the studio and release an album.
Write it down.
I said, you say write whatever the Lord gives you. Write it. I said, I said, okay. You know. And she said before, and she told me as well, listen, I'm writing 2 books already. I said, but you just launched one not quite long. How are you writing 2 books? And you know, I said that with a child as well, you know. So never we underestimate the power of God in our lives, and let us try to pray that God should direct us to the right people.
Amen.
Praise God.
Okay. That was how we come to 5th of October. I just want to talk about how Kezia, out of curiosity and the how we've impacted her. She came from hospital as well, and I could remember that she came with crushes. To women at the well event, and she was the second person that came.
I was the first.
You was the first.
I was the first waiting for them to come.
She was. She came with crushes. She was. She came from what's it called? She did surgery, and she had to come with crushes to the event, and she was calling me. I was already driving there with my husband,
and she was even trying to.
But one thing happened. I was shocked. Because I went to see her yesterday in the hospital, and she said she would be discharged. So I went there with the intention of driving her back home. But you know how people do, they didn't discharge her. Then the next day they discharged her. which was a Friday. On
Yeah.
a Saturday, I didn't expect to see her, but I said, we are going for the event. She said, I'm there already. How comes you were there? Anyway, long story short, this lady came with crushes to the event. We didn't pray for her. We didn't even give attention that she came. All I asked her is, anyway, you are here. Go and lead praise and worship. Do you know that she left without the crushes?
Amen.
You were witness.
Yeah.
Did you see her with crushes?
That's why I look this way.
I look different.
I don't
Because I asked
recollect.
her, go and lead praise and worship. Let me see how you're going to go with the crushes.
I don't recollect.
Nobody
seeing
prayed.
someone
We
on
didn't
crutch.
pray because it's charity event, and we just.
Yeah.
She went to praise and worship, and she forgot her crushes.
Yeah.
That's the end.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I give you opportunity to just say last word to the viewers.
Yes. So,
Quickly, we don't have time.
as I said earlier, she said I went to the
Few seconds, yes.
So, because I asked myself, if Sister Jessica was there, what would she do? You know? Because I have seen this woman of God. I said, what will she do? Will I amplify the devil, or will I want the name of God to be glorified? The doctor says, don't even try and come out, but I said, no, I went there.
Whose report did you believe?
report
But
do I
don't
want to
try
believe?
this at
At
home.
home.
Oh.
But don't try
try
it.
it.
Please
oh.
follow medical
We are
advice.
just sharing our
Follow
conviction.
medical advice.
Okay.
And I thank
Yes.
God I did,
Yes.
I conquered,
That's
and
fine.
I'm testifying.
That's
Praise
fine.
the Lord.
Sir.
Yeah. We
you
said
just
your
said one
faith. Your faith is so important. That's what, like you said, Jessica keyed into the right people, and that's why we're here today.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
so I believe in people who have the same vision, and all you pray
mindset.
is God to direct you to those people so that you key into the right people. Stay with us.
God bless you. And this is bringing us to this episode of 1 year anniversary reflection. Our normal way of our talk show goes back next week, and I hope to see you there. Meanwhile, please get in touch with us. Don't die in silence. If you have anything that's going on in your mind, how to share your vision, how to start up, and you are being abused, you are in pain, and you feel left alone, you feel hurt, in whatever sense, please get in touch with us. Use the numbers on the screen. See any of us, just give us a call. Go to our website, get in touch, and also you can also visit Winners Chapel website. Many of us are there. The church is also going to direct you, signpost you to where you need to get results or healings from. Meanwhile, it is wonderful being with you, and it's nice letting us in your home. Have a fantastic weekend. God bless you.
Stay safe. Bye.
Stay safe.
see